anything, it's a pleasure to meet this great oracle. I didn't know who you were, but now I get to see the face. So please. In honor to what I've been doing in the classroom setting, I just want to share with you that I just changed the title. When I heard Gary mention that Dr. Popper's dream might die, I don't think that's possible. Then I wouldn't be here. 1984, I came to the United States of America at the age of 12. I didn't speak one word of English. I walked in a classroom setting where I saw an Apple IIe, and they put this logo CD inside. I didn't speak a word of English. At that very moment, I said to myself, this is exactly what I want to do for the rest of my life. I learned coding. I mastered the logo program. At least I thought I did. But I knew what I wanted to do. So the idea is, it's not a pipe dream. It's Popper's dream. And we're not far from this. Actually, this is right here. For those of us who keep up with what's happening at the bleeding edge of where education is moving. So can I get the next slide? All right, this is Mr. Newman here. To you guys, he's Mr. Newman. That's George. That's my friend. And to me, when I think of him, I think of another Newman, Johnny Von Neumann, which every computer system, 32-bit architecture is based on his work. Without that work, those of you, I'm sure most of you here know, we would not even be here. So that's another story. We could get into that, but let's move forward. All right. I titled this Voices from the Field, and the way I look at education, it's a battlefield. Because where I work, there are kids there, that's from the socioeconomic level, just kids below poverty level. When you step in the classroom setting, you have to play so many roles as an educator, teacher, father, friend. It's just so many, and there's so many hats to wear. Sometimes you just have to ask yourself, why are you doing this? What's the purpose of this? And I consider ourselves true soldiers. We're 4 stars on our left or right arm, but it's okay. We don't need to be recognized by the world as long as a few understand who we are. And that's what Poppers represent, because I'm here to attest to what he has done. So I'm one of his products. Next slide. Okay, in regards to this Rhino business and this project, I want you guys to think of it this way. Name one game in the world where you have an actual crisis, where right now in Africa, this black rhino is on the critically endangered species list. We are literally, in the 21st century, witnessing destruction of one of the most honorable species on Earth. But yet we somehow believe that nothing can be done about it. But not my kids, because they will save the rhino. And I will show you how we'll do it. All right, this is just the background. Next slide. All right, in regards to statistics, so you can look at the dreadfulness of these numbers. This is practically where we are. This is coming from Tanzania, which is one of the places where you have the largest population of black rhino. Actually, this 3,000 figure that's left, probably less than that at this point. And the western black rhino has been declared extinct in South Africa. It was just all over the blogs. So it's happening. Next slide. So this is, again, these work, this kind of stuff here. We have a blog where the kids actually are engaged. They create their own dynamic community. They collect all this data, all this information, and bring a sense of awareness to children all over the world. And we will have an impact on these rhinos. So this is just to give you an idea of what's actually happening. The numbers, again, you know, we live in a dynamic system now. Everything changes on a daily basis. So I practically think it's getting worse. But this is just some numbers for you. Next slide. All right. Now, let's get back to open. What is open all about? What is George trying to do here? Well, the problem we have in education is very simple. it's a serious problem in the higher PhD academic level. It's a house there's a buffer region between what the PhDs and the researchers are doing at MIT or Harvard and what's actually happening in the battlefield. So how do you get across this interface? Well, you need someone who actually in the field. You have to have someone who understands curriculum issues, pedagogical issues, and all this nonsense, and actually understand what is changing. What I was able to do with George, I was able to take his game platform and say, wait a minute, man, let me look at the New York City science standards. These are the standards that are in alignment with the unit of study that the game addressed. So, I just plug it out, and so we could have some rigor to showcase what we're trying to do. All right, so I helped them to come up with, in other words, to bring it up to standards. Now we have the NGSS, which is the National Science Standards, next generation. So all the game system itself, we're going to find a way. It's pretty simple to plug the standard in, but that's not our major concern. The standards get thought through the process of teaching. Next, now you're going to actually see real learning artifacts. Okay, the kids in the lab, what they do, they come in. You cannot unplug them from these computers. Once they log in, they enter these virtual platforms. This is where the learning happens. So I'm going to walk you through one example of what the kids are actually able to do. This